Hello. Is this clearly audible right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Maybe due to network issues was happening. Okay. Just see the discussions regarding this cosine similarities. Okay. Suppose, okay. Just see these are 2 points P1 and P2, and if you'll find distance between the two, it will be suppose the constant C1. Okay. Suppose the value is suppose 10, and later if you will increase the if the length of the vector p1 is increased because of some dimension has been increased, so suppose this is placed in the same line but in different position, maybe here. Okay. That point of time, um, the thing is that suppose this is placed over here, uh, and the length of the vector is this much. Okay. So now the distance will be not that fixed value, that 10, it may change to some other value. So because of this reason, so the Euclidean distance will not work. Okay. And sometimes the real life problem comes, suppose two data points are there. Suppose this is a person one, this is person two. Person one having some number of habits. Okay. Suppose this person smokes cigarette and this person doesn't smoke cigarette, and the distance is this much. Okay. Suppose distance is suppose 10, and some other habits are there for person one. He eats non-veg, this person doesn't eat non-veg. Maybe this person watches English movies, this person doesn't watch English movie. Or maybe some other means attributes values are matching with P1 P2. They are having BTech degree. Similar means attributes are having their in one attribute they are having similar values. Maybe some other attribute they are having different hours. I mean, maybe P1 and P2 having some distance which is not that much far, but it's a fixed value. Suppose 10 is the distance between P1 and P2. Latter point of time, if P1, suppose this person watches English movie and this person doesn't watch English movie. Latter point of time, suppose this P1 person till now, suppose he has watched about 100 number of English movies. Latter point of time, he just suppose after 10 days, you want to find the distance between P1 and P2. In between this 10 number of days, P1 suppose watched about means 10 more movies. So the movies field over for P2 is 0, but P1 is suppose earlier it was 100, now it became 110. So distance will be now more. Okay. So even though all other attributes are remaining same, but P2 and P1 distance earlier it was 10, now it may change to 30. Okay. So now this is the problem for this Euclidean distance measure. If you will measure, because this is x1 minus means x2 minus x1 plus y2 minus y1 plus square plus z2 minus z1 square, like this it will continue. If one attribute will increase drastically, then it will affect with the distance measure, the distance value. Okay. So in that scenario we have to use another measure that is called cosine distance, where this vector will, even though the number of movies this person will watch maybe 100 more, still this distance, this angle will remain same. Okay. So we can always find that P1 and P2 having same distance. Even if some other attributes are appended newly, then the angle may come in a different, the angle may change from 45 to some other angle. But if some, for due to one attribute value, this P1 and P2 should not change. Okay. So point is that in that scenario we have to use these cosine similarities. Suppose the angle between the two data points P1 and P2, for over here for cosine similarity we'll discuss. This is, suppose for this example is P1 and P2 having an angle 45. So cosine similarity is cos 45 is nearly equal to 0.53. Okay. And see, uh, and over here, if the data points are well separated by putting in two feature space, suppose this is F2 and this is F1, and this is one feature and this is another feature. Over here also there are two features, F1 and F2. you can have n number of features. And suppose over here this p2 is placed on the means on over here, and p1 is placed over here. So now the angle is 90 degrees, so cos 90 is equal to 0, implies that 2 points are not similar because cos 90 the similarity is 0. The similarity value is 0. Later point of time you can means suppose the point comes over here, so the value will be means increased decreased towards negative value. Okay, so just see now these points. One more example, means a similar type of example. This is feature space 1, this is feature space 2. Now let's consider over here that angle is over here p1 and p2 lying on the same line. And if you will find the Euclidean distance, then there will be some distance between p1 and p2, even though these two persons are having same preferences, they are having same choices in their lifestyle. But the Euclidean distance will find that there is some distance difference between the p1 and p2. But cosine similarity, because the angle is over here in the same line, it is placed in same feature space. So the distance, the angle is 0 instead of earlier it was 90, then it was some other value, now it is 0. So cos 0 is equal to 1, that means p1 and p2 both are lying on the same means axis, and they are having same preference. We can say there is less difference between p1 and p2. Okay, so almost they are similar. So this is exactly similarity measure. If you will find the distance between P1 and P2, so just see earlier it was spaced on the one means first quadrant in two different places. So 1 minus cosine similarity is the cosine distance is 1 minus 0.53 equal to 0.47. Okay, so this is because 45 degree, and this much is the distance. Okay, and see, the distance is this is means more, and this is less. Okay, these items are these two items are more similar, so that's why the distance is less. Okay, now if you are considering the data points earlier over here p1 and p2 placed in two feature space axis on the same axis, f1 and f2. So 1 minus cosine similarity is 0, cos 90 is 0, so it is 1 minus 0 equal to 1. So that means they are the cosine distance equal to 1. 1 means maximum distance. As I told you, it is 1 minus something, that's why the maximum value will be 1. So distance between the point P1 and P2 is maximum over here at degree 90. Similarly, when both the points are lying on the same axis, so it is 1 minus similarity is 1, so it is exactly 0. So the distance is 0 over here because these two points are having lying on the same line, same axis. Okay. So the real life example, just see. Suppose one means some suppose one person is having preference of means watching means action movies, so action and comedy are taken into consideration. So the person who are interested to watch avengers movie, because the means avenger movie is one type of action movie, so x-axis is 1, and it doesn't have some comedy type activities, so just see its value is 0. Similarly, Minion is another movie where there is more comedy than there is actions. Okay, so action value is 0, and comedy value is 1. Okay, so that's why they are placed in a means in a orthogonal means these are two orthogonal vectors having means now suppose we want to recommend a person, we want to find the distance between the two. So just you apply that. Okay, same problem arising. This okay, okay. Uh, so we'll stop over here after completing this much. Will not continue for more hours. Okay, tomorrow we'll see. Just you follow these examples. Okay. So I think we'll stop over here and we'll continue the remaining thing tomorrow class. If it is not audible, maybe due to network problem, I don't know why it is so happening. So tomorrow we'll discuss a little bit more about this linear algebra and we'll continue with multivariate calculus. Okay, thank you.